Hi, Lori Craig with Splitcoaststampers, and today I'm going to show you a technique called Dry Emboss Alcohol Resist. I'm starting with a Spellbinders embossing folder and a piece of glossy cardstock. Once I've embossed my cardstock with my die cutting machine, I'm going to set my embossing folder aside, take the piece of embossed cardstock, lay it on my work surface. I'm going to run over mine with an embossing buddy to remove excess static from the piece of cardstock. This will keep extra embossing powder from sticking to my project. I'm going to tap over the top of the cardstock with a Versamark ink pad that's fairly juicy. A juicy pad will keep you from having to press the ink into the paper and reduce the amount of embossing powder that is stuck to your project in the recessed areas. I like to sprinkle my embossing powder over a piece of scrap paper so that I can catch the mess, and I crease it in the middle so that it's easy to fold back into the container. Sprinkle your powder liberally over your piece of cardstock. I shake it around to make sure I've covered all of my raised areas of embossed decorative design. And then I give it a couple of taps with my thumb to shake the extra powder off of the back of the cardstock. I pour my extra embossing powder back into the container so that I don't make a mess, and then it's time to get my heat gun. I run the heat gun over the top of this embossing powder until it glistens and is very shiny, very eye-catching on the embossed design. Once that's finished, I'm going to be working with Copic markers in a Copic air compressor system. You could also use a Copic ABS1 or a marker spritzer. You could also use alcohol ink on felt pads to cover the surface of your paper with color. Notice that I'm spraying very gently back and forth with a slow and controlled motion with the air compressor, and that the ink sprays out in front of the nozzle. Once I've covered my entire piece of cardstock with the ink coverage that I like, sometimes alternating between 2 and 3 different colors for a variegated effect, I put the compressor away. It's time to get some Copic blender solution and a Q-tip or a piece of felt. I put a couple of drops of ink onto the Q-tip and then I dab it onto my piece of scratch paper so that it's not soaking wet. Now I'm going to rub that Q-tip over my raised embossed edges and gently remove color from the glossy cardstock. When I'm satisfied with that design, I have a lovely piece of background paper that's ready to make into a card for a friend. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. See you next time.